Hey everybody, Iran here. Welcome to the third session and the last one we're going to do today on the .com Truth Virtual Summit. So we had a really productive day. We spent in the morning talking to Aurelian, the CEO of System.io. It was a really great chat. And the replay is available. If you were to go and visit the replay page, then you'll be able to see it. If you don't know, then you could just go to summit.comtruths.com/hub, and you'll be able to see all the replays there and all the details there. The replay is going to be available for 24 hours. You can refer back to it. And then if you're on the all access pass, then you'll have lifetime access. And if you have VIP, you'll have lifetime access. So this is the link to go to if you want to watch the replay. We did co-working session on Zoom. And then this was about 4 hours. And it was really productive. We did a bunch of calls. It was really, really good. And then we just had a really detailed lead magnet session with Beth and a lot of reviews. And we actually didn't review all the lead magnets that we wanted to. So you should expect Beth back tomorrow, same time, where we are going to review more lead magnets. So if you want to submit your lead magnet to be reviewed, you can definitely email to me, contact@aranbukai.com. Do it after this session so we can prepare for tomorrow, and we'll review a lead magnet. So we're going to do more of that. For right now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next speaker. And this is going to be, so you're going to see him twice in the next 5 days. You're going to see him now, and you're going to see him again in 5 days for the magic show. So I want to give a quick intro, a little bit about him. So Jackson is a phenomenal world-class magician. He's got 6 million followers on social media. He's got 500 plus reviews on Google and so on. And yeah, does full-time magic, and that's his. Now, number one, it's his passion, but also it's his career. And I think it's one of these scenarios where somebody really managed to take their passion and turn it into a real successful career. So, and he's got a lot of, if there's one thing that I will say also that you should be aware of, like, even though you might think, oh, entertainer, magician, okay, cool. But actually, Jackson is like a full-fledged entrepreneur. I mean, that we'll talk about the different skills, because I know behind the scene a little bit about the skills that he's actually acquired over the years. And I think you're going to learn a ton. So if you can leave me in a comment as well, let me know that you can hear me and everything. And then with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring him on.
Hey, how you doing? Good to be here.
I'm good. Good to have you.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a good chat.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see a bit of a different side to you today, just because it's going to be not just the entertainer magic, but just like, the entrepreneur, I think, which I think is I think it's a side that people don't, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that maybe some people, they just don't, it's not, because you're an entertainer, right? That's what you do. That's what you are on the front end, you know, but I think the back end, the entrepreneurial spirit and the skill set you've done over the years, that's a whole different, side of you that I don't know if people really realize how much you are an entrepreneur in that regard. So anyway.
I didn't even realize.
Well, you are. I'll list off the different skill sets that I know of, and you can tell me, okay? Number one, video editor. Super talented video editor, right?
Yeah.
Which people don't associate that, but I know you've gotten business because of your video editing skills, right? And because, it's an amazing skill to have. And I know how much time you spend and how perfectionist you are at it. So that's like a really amazing skill. Number one. Number two is, the amount of the client acquisition skills you have. And I'll tell a little story and I'll let you talk. I was in Sydney 2 months ago. And I remember I was, at your sister's house, and we were talking and whatever. And then Jackson had to take a phone call, and he was basically offering somebody to go do a free event. Basically, I think it was in a charity, some charity. I don't remember exactly, but you said you basically had the evening off. You didn't have any customers, so you're like, look, I'll come and do something for free, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting, you've got 6 million followers. You're fully booked out most of the year. and all that stuff. You get inquiries all the time, yet you'd still do that client acquisition strategy of going and doing something for free because you know it's going to give you more business. So I think it's a very important skill. Anyway, let's talk about that a little bit. Tell me, why would you do something for free? I mean, you're already successful. You charge. I mean, it's not, you're not a cheap magician because you're world class. So why would you go do something for free?
Well, there's a couple of reasons to do something for free, but first and foremost is you can never have too many leads. You can never have too much coming in. Well, at least I've never had that. I'll have situations where I'll turn down one or two here and there, but there's still so many opportunities, and if I don't over promote and over do more than I need to, then I'm going to have a lot of weekends where it's like, oh, it's kind of quiet this weekend. Even if it's just 1, 2, or 3 gigs, I still feel like I need to be doing more. So the client acquisition, it never stops, whether that's when I'm at a gig, I'm giving everybody a business card, or whether I'm doing a high-end charity event where I know that the decision makers for companies are going to be there. It's like, it doesn't stop, because otherwise it stops coming in.
Yeah. Awesome. And then what would you say is, in terms of the client acquisition, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy it / not enjoy it / how much of a dredge is it for you?
Well, my client acquisition is kind of different. If I'm cold calling a charity that's throwing an event, sometimes there can be gatekeepers, even though it's a charity and I'm here to donate my time, but they don't know me from a bar of soap. So if I say, I'm a professional magician, I love what you're doing, and I'd love to come and donate my time to your event. All I ask in return is, that I'm able to network and give out my business card. So that is not necessarily not fun, but you've got to be a bit savvy on the phone sometimes and make sure you sound quite professional. Because if they hear, oh, I'm a magician, first thing they'll think is, oh, he does kid shows, and maybe he's, I don't know, trying to crack into the corporate market or something like that. So you've really got to put your best foot forward, and really you have to brag, even though Australian culture is not very much a bragging culture. It's kind of frowned upon to talk yourself up too much. In that situation, you have to do that, because otherwise they won't take you seriously. And then once they see, you're at a high level and you're willing to do this stuff for free, then they're like, oh yeah, great. That'd be great. Come along. And then that's just to get my foot in the door. And once I'm in front of people who are potential customers, I have a lot of fun doing it, because my role is to entertain everybody and just give them a business card. And if I do a really good job, they're more likely to call me next time they've got a party coming up or something like that. The Christmas party comes around. Oh, what about that magician we saw at the charity event? So that, a few years ago, I went out on my own, and this, Iran, and you helped me a lot. I had been with an agency for 5 years, and they would get me all my corporate work, and I was promoting them, their name, their number on my business card. So for 5 years, all my eggs went into that basket. And when I left, I had to start from scratch. And so I tried a few different avenues, and I went back to this restaurant that I got my start at when I was a teenager as a magician. Excuse me. And I did 3 or 4 nights a week there for almost 6 months straight. And I got barely any leads. And I'm going, what's going on here? Am I spinning my wheels? I don't understand. And the problem was that the clientele weren't the right people to be marketing to. And I was spinning my wheels. I was wasting my time. And I did one event, which was a boxing night that my dad's friend was hosting, and tickets for that were $350 a head. So I go, and my cousin was boxing. So I'm there kind of as a guest. I'm obviously ready to perform and, mingle throughout the night, but I'm enjoying myself. And I go up to about maybe 4, maximum 5 tables that night in between all the fights that were going on. And I ended up booking 3 gigs from probably half an hour's worth of networking. And that gave me $5,000 compared to making $1,000 or so from 6 months of busting my butt at the restaurant 3 to 4 nights a week,
Yeah.
it smacked me right in the face because I realized, wow, like this is, you can't even put a number on how much more effective that was to get in front of people who have the money to spend on an event and who are throwing parties in the first place and who think, oh, how are we going to put on a really good party for everybody? So that became my focus from that point on. It was like, how can I find these events where they're high ticket to get into and offer my services and get in front of these people who it's so much worth my time to do a few hours, and my job's easy, and to get these amazing gigs in return. And it really, really took off. And I couldn't believe how easy it was. It was like I'd found a lot of people try to get every single thing that works and try to cover every single base. Often you only need to find a few things that work extremely well and then just go all in on that. And then you don't need to worry about all the others.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And to keep also a comparison between because a lot of people here they're very much entrepreneurs online. We're all online entrepreneurs, whereas you're an offline entrepreneur kind of thing. You obviously we'll talk about social media in a moment, but the magician side, the freelance side of being a magician and entertainer, it's a lot of it is offline as well, primarily. At least pre-COVID, it was definitely pretty much all offline, right? So, but the concept, which is really interesting, and how it actually compares, is to get customers, you need to get in front of other people's audiences. And if you get in front of other people's audiences in the online world, it's Facebook groups. You go into someone else's Facebook group, you engage, and so on. If you go into a Facebook group where somebody they're not your target audience, well, you can add value for months on end and get nowhere. Once you're in a group, it's like super laser targeted to, then, if you're going to go to a group that's more targeted, all of a sudden you can spend a little bit of time and get a lot of results. So the comparison here is very distinct. And that's something that I noticed when I was working and doing sales for you, the similarities between what you were doing offline and how similar it is to the online. And I'll tell you, well, I mean, made my life easy doing sales for you is your testimonials, because you have so many freaking testimonials. And I followed that same strategy myself. Like if you go to my website now, I mean, I've got a bazillion testimonials, video reviews, all that stuff. And I think that's a huge, huge point for anybody starting out. You got to build up that collateral, that portfolio of testimonials. How did you kind of get comfortable asking for testimonials? Did you have to ask? How did that kind of process go?
I used to incentivize it. So I would say, first of all, you have to do a really good job, and they have to be, they have to be willing to rave about your service. If that's not the case, then you might not even feel confident asking for a review. So you have to make sure, at least I think you should try to make sure that the customer is over the moon about it. Because if they go to Google and they say, oh yeah, maybe it was like 3 stars or 4 stars, you get a bunch of 4-star reviews and it's not going to look so good. But a lot of people are probably just asking for a written testimonial. So yeah, you have to have done a good job. And it does take a bit of follow-up. It does take a bit of, hey, do you mind doing that? One thing that I found was the most useful is to call them up and have them on speakerphone and ask them their feedback, and then type it out as you're talking to them. Once you get off the phone call with them, draft it up, send it over to them and say, hey, I just typed up a few things from our conversation of your feedback from the event or from my services to you. Is it okay if I use this on my website? Please edit it any way that you feel fit and make it your own. Or if not, give me the okay and I'll put it on the website. And that was like, seems like a pain in the butt, but that also really, really worked. So just do that over and over and over, because if you've got good clients, which I've got clients who I've performed for billionaires and clients who are like top of the top, they don't have time to get onto Google and do this. Like some of my best clients haven't left a Google review for me, but they'll book me a few times a year. So they don't have time for that. So any streamlining that you can do of the process is going to make it way more likely that they're actually going to go and do it. If they can just copy and paste the review, onto Google or onto a LinkedIn recommendation, they're so likely to do it because you're asking way less of the customer.
I love that. I love that. It's so important because you adapted it to the niche, obviously, because you're dealing with a millionaire. He doesn't have time to go and type this up. Like, just,
No.
they're too busy. They've got secretaries for that stuff,
That's right. Yeah.
Interesting. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
What about video reviews? Because you got a lot of those as well.
Oh yeah, video reviews can be really hard because a lot of people who book you, some of them are the guy who likes to be the center of attention, but a lot of people who book you are going to be so shy as soon as you put a camera in front of them. It's probably ideal if you have like a videographer there to do it for you, so they're not like saying the testimonial in front of you, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the pressure's on where it's like, oh, did you think I was good? Yeah, or even if they could send one in that they've recorded. But for me, that's never happened. It's like, hey, do you mind just doing a really short testimonial? Just say what I did for you, what the feedback was like from the audience, yada, yada. And then just boom. And if they don't, oftentimes they'll have no idea what to say. So I'll say, and what did you think of blah? And they go, oh yeah, that was the best part. And oh yeah, people were freaking out. What do you think this would be ideal for? Who would you recommend this to? I think this would be great for da da da. So you want to have a couple questions up your sleeve, pun intended, and then you can cut that testimonial together and make it seem like they volunteered all that information, and it was just, it was flowing out of them. Oh my God, it was amazing. People couldn't stop talking about it. And you just rinse and repeat. And I think probably one of the best pieces of advice I got early on from another magician is you want to have so many reviews that when people go to the reviews page, they're not going to read them all. They'll skim through a few of them. But you want to have so many that they go, wow, this guy has been in business forever, as it looks like it. And there's 50 video testimonials, or there's hundreds and hundreds of reviews. There's no way that this guy is going to be crap. This is, I should probably use this guy. So that was my strategy, and I really made a game of it. I remember when I was trying to get to 100 Google reviews, and then it was trying to get to 150 and 200, and this was like early on too. A lot of the other guys in my market are chasing me now, and they haven't even gotten close. But I just knew that time would be well spent, because if people are going to Google you and they see, wow, this guy has hundreds of reviews, the other guy has 20. Let's go with this guy.
Yeah, totally. And as somebody who did sales for you, that made it so easy for me, because I could say, well, this is the price. Like, okay, premium price. So, or what? It's also, you can go with someone else, but you're not going to see anything like that. So it was really easy when you have so many reviews. There's so much backing to it. And I'd argue that at the beginning, when you're getting started, a review is almost more valuable than the peanuts you would get paid for something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would happily do a gig for free in exchange for a really good review. Yeah, that's because that is going to get you it's going to make you far more money than getting paid for that one job.
Yeah.
It's how do you leverage everything that you're doing and make it pay off for more and more in the future? Yeah, because it's really good to keep a checklist of these things. Obviously, it's different for me because I'll be at an event and there's a few things that I want to do. I want to get a photo with the client afterwards. I'd love to get a video testimonial, XYZ. So there's a couple things that I can do. If I don't do them, no one's going to say, hey, you forgot to do this. I'm my own boss. I have to do it, or no, it doesn't get done in that situation. So you've got to squeeze the juice out of every single opportunity that you get, especially when you're starting out, and get a testimony from every single customer, even if, that's not your ideal customer, whatever. You can get more later that are perfect. It's like you've got to get you got to get it started. You got to
Yeah.
get as much as you can in the beginning from each opportunity.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that.
Mm.
And you collect your reviews, which I think is smart. I collect mine on Facebook because most of my customers are on Facebook. That's, I
Yeah.
think that was a choice that I made. But you collect it on Google, which I think is more important because you're a local business actually, because you get clients locally. So, so yeah, in terms of like where you should collect it, definitely if you're a local business, do Google. If you're online, you could do Google as well, but Facebook I think is definitely a good place to do it actually.
Yeah. With the Google reviews, we got I think it's called Reviews on My Website is the name of the service, and that was really easy for me to add that to my website. And it's got like it has the reviews exactly as they would be on Google, but it has them set out really nice. And you can go into the back end of your account and you can say, don't show this review, show this review, because some of the reviews are like not always that great, or they just say he's cool. It's like, I don't want that one to show up on the website. If there's only 6 that they're going to see, I want it to be the best 6 reviews.
Yeah, totally. Amy said, I had a plumber over at my house and I asked him for one more thing, but it was a simple task. It was going to cost 75. I was shocked. I told him that. He said, write us a review and I'll do it for free. That's what she said.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah,
that's just a classic example. It's totally.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Amy and Hillary and Lisa and Barbara and Bonnie and Han. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it.
And lovely Rose Ramos too.
And lovely Rose Ramos. And Facebook person who I should really give you a link on how to fix that so we can see your face. But I appreciate you all being here. Before we move on to the next thing, I did want to, because people might be here earlier and maybe they'll drop off, but there's something that they need to prepare for the event in 5 days, right?
Yeah, that's right. We want everybody to bring. So if there's a few of you, you need one piece of paper each. You want to get basically an A4 piece of paper with, you can bring some scissors along as well. That would make things easier. But basically A4 piece of paper, scissors, and a marker. So a Sharpie, pen, something like that, to be able to write on and take part in the show yourself. Because we're going to do a really cool interactive trick.
Awesome. So yeah, when you guys come, make sure you bring those things. I'll email those instructions as well. But yeah, definitely do that, and it'll be fun. By the way, in case somebody hasn't seen Jackson, I know some people may have seen him when we had you for my members, but I remember I think I was working in a 9 to 5, and you didn't have a videographer, and you had this big event going on, and then I was just gonna make some extra money, right? And I went and videoed your event for 4 hours.
Yes.
And I remember after the 4 hours, I was like, bloody hell. 4 hours later, I'm recording him. I'm literally with a camera following this dude around, seeing the same freaking trick. And I still can't figure out what the hell he's doing.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know what you were going to say then.
Yeah, I remember that event. It was very good.
Yeah, I forgot that I got you to come do that. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, that's right. That was the first time I think we actually did something, and then I started doing sales shortly after, I think. So
yeah, that's right. Well, that's also a really good point. When you're starting out, it can be painful to want to or to invest anything into your business, but there's a few things that you should definitely invest in. One of those is really good video. If that applies to your business or your service, like good video that's your resume. That's what's selling you. So you want to have a great website, a great resume, great reviews. And I can't really think off the top of my head of anything else that you would need. Those 3 things are super crucial. And don't go spend $1,000 for 2 hours on a videographer. Like, that's ridiculous. But be willing to choose a guy who has good reviews and that you can afford. But it will pay back. It'll come back in spades.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Amy, will you do a magic trick right now? Pretty please. Amy,
anything?
Maybe Amy. Maybe.
How about we save it till the end? That way they'll stay.
We'll save it to the end. If you stick around to the end, Jackson will give you a teaser.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk about social media.
Mhm.
And because you've got 6 million on TikTok, you
Yeah,
did, you've got, and I think, I don't know the exact timeline, but I think that when I started doing sales for you, you had about 40,000 on Instagram at the time,
that's right. Yeah.
but I don't think you had TikTok yet, or you were just getting started.
I don't think TikTok existed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that you were just spending time. I was just taking the calls, and you were doing you were working. I think you were working on getting some viral videos with some guy.
Yeah, right. Well, I got on a TikTok in late May of 2019. I think it was
Yeah,
2019. And
sounds
no,
about
it must have been
right.
2018. I think it was 2018.
18.
And I saw, so first of all, I saw this magician who I knew, and he was blowing up on Instagram, and I didn't understand where all his new followers were coming on, because it can be tricky to get new followers on Instagram. It's not the easiest platform to get organic growth from. And for those of you who don't know what organic growth is, it's basically when you post your content and it gets shown on the recommended feed, and then more people see it, and then more people will follow you and or find out about you. So I'm going, how's this guy getting? He's nearly up to 1 million on Instagram. What's going on? And then I saw him post on his story saying, just hit 2 million on TikTok. Oh my God, I can't believe how fast I'm growing on this platform. And I go, oh, maybe all the followers are coming from there. So I get onto TikTok, I post a video, and the video with 0 followers gets like 1,500 views in like 5 minutes. And I'm watching this, refreshing it, seeing the numbers go up, up, up. And I'm like, this is like so addictive. And it basically stopped at about 1,500, 1,600, but I was hooked. And I had my initial followers, and I'm like, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is like when Vine, the app, was still around, and people changed their lives by posting on this little app, and being one of the first people on there too was
Yeah.
really, really helpful. I mean, there were other guys, there were some magicians on there who had already had 1 million followers by then. Luca, the other magician, he had 2 million, but I was quite early to the game. With that said, I studied everything that all the other successful magicians were doing on the platform, because I threw a whole bunch of videos on there that I thought were great and that went great on Instagram, and a lot of them didn't do very well. And I didn't understand why that was. I thought they were an awesome video. Why don't these guys like it? Why did they like this other video rather than this one? So there was plenty of trial and error in that regard. And that's going to be the same for anybody who's going to be making content. The more that you make, the better it's just going to come out, and the better a portfolio you're going to build. And your first great idea might be terrible, but just do it and put it out there and see how it goes. And then you're able to analyze the data. And that's a huge part of it. You have to analyze the data. First of all, you have to have a bunch of content out there, and you have to be able to get the data on what was the audience response, how many people liked it, what was the average view time of the video, all this stuff, how many people shared it. That stuff is crucial. And then you can go, oh, this video that I did got 5 times as many views as the others. Now, it's still not a lot, but there's something there. There has to be something there. So you explore that, and you try to do that style of video the best that you can, and take it as far as you can with it. And then one of the rules that you do is, once you find a working formula, 80% of the time, or 80% of the videos, you do that formula and you do them as best as you can. And then the other 20% of the time, roughly, you experiment and you try to come up with new video ideas, new styles, try things that it might not work at all. It might be your next big thing. So you do that, and so I'm posting all this stuff on TikTok, and one video just blew up. It just popped off. Not like crazy, but crazy for what I'd seen. It got like 40,000 views in a few hours, and I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God. So I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna just quadrupled down on that type of video. And the video was an interactive trick where I show 5 cards to the camera. I say, think of one. I think it's this one. And then it's like, oh, your card is gone, right? And people are either going, oh my God, he got my card. Or they're saying, no, it didn't work, you loser. And I would get awesome, that would help the algorithm push the video out to more people because there's engagement. So, and I'm just seeing them roll in. I'm just seeing it all come in, and I'm just like laughing to myself. Even when I'm seeing the hate comments, because it's like, I don't care what these people are saying. I don't know these people, but look at my follower count. Look, like this is going to change my life. So yeah. Oh, there we go. I've got my TikTok up there. Yeah, there's a lot of different types of videos there, and I've got hundreds and hundreds on there now. But yeah, kind of.
Which one is the one that blew up? Which one's the first one that like exploded?
I remember the first one that cracked a million views was a street magic video where I perform magic for these like girls who are in uni, and there was one part of the video where I moved the girl to a different spot, and at the exact same time that I kind of moved her, the camera shook, and it looks like I like throw the girl out of the way, and I got like the girl here. It's one of these ones here.
This one, right?
Yes, that's the one. The 1.1 million. So yeah, there was that point in the video where everyone was commenting about that, and like, oh, manhandled the girl and all this and all that, and I'm like, dude, she follows me on TikTok. She loves the magic. There was no, it just looked worse than it was. Nothing happened. And so that blew up part and parcel, partly because of that. Also because it's like a good video. The girls are attractive too, so that grabs people's attention. And it's also, they have to stay to the end to see what to wrap everything up. Do you want to play the video so they can see what we're talking about? Yeah. Just give everyone a bit better idea of what happens. So the reactions are awesome too, which really helps. This part here. Yeah, see how the camera shakes? It looks like I threw it out of the way.
Very cool.
Yeah. So if we just kind of analyze what happened there, because this will help people when they're trying to produce content. So first of all, someone will scroll and that video will show up, and you got these 2 pretty girls there, and it's like, oh, he's doing a card trick, right? So they go to push it in, and all of a sudden the card's in my mouth. So they're kind of like, what? First of all, how did that happen? And what's going on? And how do they not see it? There's a lot going on in that first few seconds. And then they're bought in, like they're sold on, oh, the next trick this guy will do will be really good too. So then I give the girl the cards, and she holds onto them, and then they're waiting to see what's going to happen with these cards. She opens her hands, and they've turned into a clear block of perspex. There's no cards. And then boom, as soon as you're able to see that, the video cuts before you can even scroll away. So that means that a lot of people are going to, first of all, stop and watch the video and then finish the whole video. And that says to the TikTok algorithm or any algorithm, and they're all pretty much the same, they all like the same things. That says to the algorithm, people like this video, and this is engaging. This is keeping people on our platform for this amount of time. That's good. Let's show it to more people, and people are going to have a good experience using our app versus being on Instagram. And all these apps, they want people to be on their app as much as possible. So the algorithms are just looking at all the data and looking at all the audience responses to see what's the best content to show people so that they're going to stay on the platform. So a couple of things that are crucial when it comes to what are these algorithms like. They really take into account what percentage of people actually stopped to watch the video in the first place versus scrolling. They take into account how many people completed the full video rather than scrolling away before it was done. As far as the things that people could try to cheat on, like likes and comments and all that, shares are the most important thing. Coming after that would be comments. After that would be likes. But more important than all of those things is the average view time, the average amount of time that people watch it. So if the video was shown to 100 people and 20 people scrolled right away, 50 people watched the video twice, and 30 people watch the video once all the way through, then it's going to look at that and create an average of, okay, I'm not going to do the maths on that, but the average watch time was, let's say it was 15 seconds of a 14-second video. And that would be great. That could definitely go viral because they go, oh, wow, like people are rewatching this. Most people are watching the whole thing. Let's show it to more people. It really is as simple as that. And a lot of people will fluke a viral video without even
realizing why.
Yeah, like a lot of people on TikTok have 1 million followers from one video, and it was just a video of them, I don't know, filming someone trying to skateboard down a thing and cracking their nuts on a railing or something. But knowing that there's not some person going, yep, we're going to make that video go viral. No, we're not going to make that video go viral. Knowing that instead it's actually an algorithm and there are always going to be certain things that it favors, then you know what to do more than you would think. Obviously, you still have to then get creative and come up with the video idea and try to hit these points that are important, but you're way ahead of the game. And another thing I would say, if anyone is feeling like, oh, this isn't for me, or, oh, it's going to be a lot of work, everyone thinks that. Everyone. And so few people are going to really put effort into their social media for business and try to go viral. And even if you don't go viral, even if you come out of it at the end and you've got better videos that are more engaging and get more customers for you, that's super valuable for you. And there's so few people doing it. So you're really going to stand out. There's tens of thousands of magicians around the world. There's only like 24 who have more than 1 million on TikTok.
Right.
All the others complain and say, oh, these TikTok magicians, blah, blah, blah. They're just jealous that they can't do it, but they could do it. They really could, because there's so little competition. There really is so few people in every niche doing it like to that level, or even just getting in front of a camera and doing video content, because everyone's shy in front of a camera. Everyone, unless you're like me and you have to be center of attention. So just by doing it will put you so much further ahead of your competition, and it will pay off so much. It will really pay off for you.
Yeah. I love the breakdown you gave. So the viewership, the repeat viewership is definitely a big deal.
Yeah, like a rewatch is worth more than someone watching it once.
Than a one watch.
If people start looping the video, like if it's a funny video and someone like falls over in a funny way, while they're drunk with their friends, and people just crack up and they watch it again and they watch it again and they watch it again, and then they'll share it to their friend. That's like a big boost. That video is going to get a boost because of that. Yeah, because they want to, all these apps want, and all their algorithms are catered to, is how do we make people have a great time on this app, stay on it as long as possible each session, and feel like getting onto the app again to spend more time so that we can show them more ads in between the videos. That's literally it. That's as simple as it gets.
Yeah. And if
It's almost,
you're helping them do that, then they will reward you
yeah,
with
that's
more
right.
viewers.
Yeah, 100%. And look,
Yeah.
you can get paid for your content now. But my strategy was always grow the audience and then work out how to monetize later. First of all,
Yeah.
I need the audience. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Some really good insights also when you're creating, because I know like when I was doing reels, because I started doing reels and stuff. Also after we met in Sydney, because I didn't know about Facebook Reels. You told me about Facebook Reels. I didn't even realize they have that. So I've
Yeah.
been posting to Facebook Reels. And what's interesting is I did one video, which wasn't me talking even, it was just a quote. And the quote was overlaying a stock video of like a waterfall or something. But it goes for 4 seconds. So, or 7 seconds, I think. But the quote takes, 10 seconds to read. So they end up rewatching the video, quote unquote, because they have to read the quotes. And in that one, I think it did the best on out of all my videos. I'm putting all this effort. I'm talking and this and that. This one's like a quote. I just threw the quote at my video editor. I think what I did on that one, I literally wrote a tweet. I told my video editor, find a stock video, take a screenshot, put it up, make it 7 seconds, and post it up for me. And that was it.
Yeah.
So it was like the littlest effort, and that gave me the most views because that rewatch strategy.
Well, yeah, we always think that the more effort we put into any specific thing, the more we're going to get out of it, no matter what. That's how life should work, right? Unfortunately, that's not always the case, because just like when I started out at restaurants and I was doing several nights a week trying to give out my business cards and get new customers versus doing one high-end event and tripling what I would make in that whole 6 months, you got to find the things that actually work, and they can be easy. There's no shame in finding something that gets results with very little effort and then doing that over and over and over again. There really is no shame in that. It'd be like if I was in front of an audience and I've worked hundreds of hours to do a trick, but then I do another trick which is almost self-working. You buy a gimmick from the magic store and you perform it, and people love it. It's just it appeals to audiences' tastes more than the thing that you put thousands of hours of effort into. It's like, oh well, tough luck. People want to see that more than they want to see the hard one.
Yeah, totally. If you were to advise somebody who is just getting started with social media, content creation, and so on, which platform? I know it's a generic question. I'm just curious to see what, how would you advise somebody if they are wondering what's the best platform for them to start with?
I would say post on every platform. Make content that will suit all the platforms. And I mean, it means if you're going to do short form content, it's going to be vertical. So don't film it like this that's YouTube, that's long form content. But you're going to film it vertical. And ideally, if you make a good short video that whoever your ideal customer is would benefit from, post it on Instagram Reels, post it on Facebook Reels, post it on TikTok. You can post it on Snapchat too. Snapchat has Snapchat Spotlight, they're all trying to do the same thing now. And then same thing with any long form content. Now you can post long form videos on TikTok. You can post up to 10 minutes. You can do the same on Instagram, and YouTube was built for that. YouTube, you can do hours of content in one video. So I would say to make your content so that it would suit all platforms. And the major differences is you're going to get a different audience. The Facebook comments and the people who are seeing my Facebook Reels are different to the people who are watching my TikToks. It's just shown to different demographics. But it's free to post on all of these platforms, and you don't know which platform that video will do particularly well on. So you just post on all of them.
Yeah. On that note, with regards to the demographics, Han asked how many seniors are on TikTok. I think he Googled it. He said 7.1 of people over 50, which maybe that
Well,
sounds low, but that's millions
there's
and
over a
millions and millions
billion
of people.
TikTok users.
Yeah, that's a
So
huge amount of people if that's the case.
yeah, that's 71 million people. Is that not enough customers for you? Yeah, not to sound rude when I say that, but yeah, like also how many people are on any social media that are over 50? That statistic sounds bad, but people are consuming content on the social media apps. My mum's on TikTok all the time. She's over 50. I'm not going to say her age, but she's on TikTok nonstop. So yeah, those numbers can throw you a bit. Maybe in-person marketing is better for people over 50. I don't know, but it's not that there's no audience on these apps in a specific demographic. Like it's like saying seniors don't go to McDonald's. It's a household name. They have customers of every single demographic you could ever want. Yeah.
100%. I think let's do a little recap, takeaways. Number one, you can absolutely do free service and actually get paid through reviews to build up your portfolio, build your confidence, build relationships.
Yeah.
Huge tip there. And I think that's so important. I mean, I know that's how I started. That's literally how I got my stuff built. It's the same strategy. You know, for sure. Try to get as many testimonials that people don't even have time to read your testimonials because there's so many. They're just like, there's no way I can go wrong with this person because there's so many reviews. So try to aim for that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're working for companies too, they're going to do their research. And let's say, obviously, we're not going to do a bad job, or we're going to try to do our best job possible. But even if you were to do a bad job, and even if they were a little uncertain, they're going to see all those reviews and they'll go, even if this guy stuffs up for me, I can go back to my boss and say, look at all the reviews. Look, like I didn't just find the cheapest one. Look, like I did my research. This guy looks like the real deal, right? So I'm not saying, hey, if you stuff up, awesome, you're fine. But what I'm saying is you're going to close a lot more leads because of that, because they know their ass is covered if you have so much supporting evidence that you should be the one that they choose.
100%. I think that's honestly the biggest takeaway for people. And then the other takeaway is where you find your customers when you get in front of other people's audiences. Just make sure you're in the right pool of people. And maybe depending on your target demographics, maybe TikTok isn't your place. That's okay too. It doesn't mean it is. It should be. Maybe, like, I know I find my customers on Facebook more than any other platform, right? TikTok for me is your restaurants, right? That's the comparison, right? Whereas that $350 a head corporate company, for me, that's specific Facebook groups. That's what it is for me. So you got to figure out where that is. And I think, you know, when you said about posting on all social media platforms getting started, do that. But then watch the numbers to see where you're getting the most traction so you can double down on where you're really going to get traction, you know, if you really want to focus on where you're going to get results, you know. So, you know, that $350 head corporate event is where you want to find that event, whatever that looks like online. Maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's Facebook, maybe, you know, wherever that is, that's where you're gonna find that gold mine. Love that.
And another thing that I'll say, just let me just try to think of a few other tips when it comes to social media. What people are saying in the comments, ignore the hate comments, but what people are saying in the comments is super, super valuable. If you notice that a lot of people are saying specific things or saying similar things, you can use that. And TikTok was the first platform that came out with this feature where you could reply to a comment with a video. And that became how people made their videos. That became why don't you do that in a Starbucks? Like, let's say I'm doing a magic trick, and then someone comments, do a magic trick with no hands. And it's like, okay, how am I going to do a magic trick using my feet or my mouth or something? And people are going to watch that because they're going to be like, oh, okay. He's not the only person who would like to see someone take on that challenge.
Yeah.
So the comments are super valuable. Yeah. And even if
Super
a video doesn't go viral, if it got more shares than the other ones, why did it get more shares? Like, can you pull up my TikTok on there? I just want to go right to the top. So, and also, can people hear me when we're doing screen to screen? They must be, right? Yeah, they can hear me.
I think so. If somebody can leave me a comment if you can hear when we actually share as well.
Yeah. So just scroll a tiny bit down, Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you'll see there's a lot of images there where it's like a black and white photo outline thing. And what that is it's a series that basically kind of came about because of the comments. So I saw another magician doing this thing. It's an optical illusion where you stare at the image for like 30 seconds and then you look up at your ceiling and you blink a lot, or you look at a white wall and you blink a lot, and your eyes will invert the image so that it looks like that person is like on the wall, like an image of them floating in front of you. And I saw this other magician do it with a famous person. I think it was Ariana Grande, who, you know, everyone knows and everyone loves. And he had like 8 million views. So I thought, oh, I'm going to do one of these. So I started doing them with, you know, famous celebrities. And Kobe Bryant dies. And I'm getting comments for, I can't tell you how many comments I had, people saying, please do one of these of Kobe Bryant, please. I was getting messages on Instagram nonstop. I was getting all these comments, and I'm like, is that a bit like, I don't know how I'd feel about that. Am I like profiting off this guy's passing? And then I was like, well, people obviously want to see that. People obviously, maybe it would be, you know, help them remember their idol that has passed away.
Yeah.
So I did that. And I'm like, this has to go viral. I know that people are going to see this. And it got like 38 million views and 750,000 shares. And it was 2 weeks after he'd passed away. And I'm going, shit, like I took this format, which works, where it's this illusion of a celebrity. But not only that, if it's a celebrity who's passed away, then people like feel like a lot of emotion from it. If you can evoke some kind of emotional reaction from people, whether it's laughter, whether it's inspiration, whether it's you're giving business tips and you make people go, oh, that's awesome. It's like they can't even control it. Their thumb is going to hit the like button, or their thumb is going to just hit the share button. And I've got to send this to Jill. I've got to send this to Peter. They've got to do this. Because also what they want to do when they share your video is they want to create an emotional effect on the person they send it to.
On a friend.
Yeah, if you send your friend a funny video, you're not saying, hey, I laughed at this, good for me. You want to make them laugh. You know, you want to send them a funny video so they crack up. And then you go, oh, how funny was that? Oh my God, that was hilarious. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's why people share videos. So what I ended up stumbling into was this, you know, this niche and this market where people get all sentimental, and, you know, people will cry when the illusion works and they see Kobe again floating above them. So, and a lot of people shared it. So then that kind of became a thing, and created a business off the back of that called Floating Angels, where we take images of people whose loved ones have passed away. We take the image and we do the same thing. We make a custom image like that so that they can do the illusion, look up at the ceiling, blink, and it looks like their loved one is watching over them. And made good money off of that. Like, it wasn't enough to retire on or anything like that, but I was quite against doing it, and I was quite against doing the business too. But it was just the plethora of comments that I was getting requesting it made me see there is a need for this. This is, you know, it's a bit of a weird area. It's kind of like, you know, there has to be funeral homes, you know, but you know, I'm sure most of us would feel a bit weird starting up a funeral home. It's kind of a weird area, you know, profiting, so to speak, of people dying. It just felt weird. But your audience is going to tell you so much more than you can ever come up with yourself.
Are you still selling that? Is that still a service that you're offering?
Yeah, it's available. We usually we don't get any leads unless I do a video about it. And we did 3 price points. We've never sold the highest price point. It's always been either the image only or the video talking you through the illusion. We had one person send us an image of their cat. Oh, wow, I never thought that would happen. And we get them, properly made. They're high quality. It takes a lot of revisions actually to get the image right so the illusion works. Bit of a headache, but when it was at the start of this year when business was a bit funny still because there were still COVID worries and everything, even though it was good for Christmas. Got me through. Made a few grand off that, and it helped me weather the storm of a quiet few months.
Innovation and evolving.
Yeah. And
I remember because I helped build that website, and we set it up on the video. We did it with Vidello, and then the website is actually hosted on System as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah, System.io.
Yeah. So, there you go. So, very cool.
Do we have any questions from anyone in the chat?
Yeah. If anybody has a question, this is a good time to ask. We had some good feedback about the social media tips. People like those tips there.
Oh, good.
Great tips, Jackson. Thanks.
Thanks, Han. If anyone has specific, thank you, Bonnie. If anyone has specific questions, mainly about like videos themselves and coming up with ideas and that kind of thing, rather than we've covered what platform to post on, and there's certain questions that pop up all the time that it's not the right thing to focus on, oh, should I post on all of them? Yeah, post on all of them. Awesome multifaceted medium. Oh, one thing too, this might not be right for everyone, but going live, people love when people that they follow go live.
Yeah.
And you got to think of the psychology behind it. It's like they don't want to miss it. It's the whole FOMO, fear of missing out, where they say, oh, Jackson is live right now. And most people, when they go live, the replay doesn't go up. So people want to be there. And also it's like you are at a live sporting event or you're at some event, because everyone starts commenting and everyone's watching the same thing. And it's like, there's just kind of this excitement of, what's going to happen now? Even if it's just like what we're doing right now, where it's like, oh, is he going to answer my question? There's an excitement to that. So going live is super, super valuable. It will really help to foster your audience and really create like super fans. You want super fans in your business who will watch everything you do, share everything you do, will buy your merch, all this. Like, you want to create super fans. And going live, this is a bit of an extreme, but as you know, Iran, I'm one for taking things to the extreme. I did a several day straight live stream in the 2020 lockdown. I was live streaming myself asleep, and we had 5,000 people watching at one time. And TikTok would start suggesting the live stream for people to watch it. And people go, what are we watching this guy sleep for? There's thousands of people on there, and people are commenting, and oh my God, like, people are making friends in the comments. It's just like ridiculous. And even to this day, I get direct messages on Instagram. I haven't gone live for months, and do as I say, not as I do. Okay. But people still say, when are you going to go live? When's your next live stream? Oh, I want to shout out. When's your next live stream?
That is
both. Funny. Sorry, just on that question there, is it a good idea to say I'm going live at this time, or just go live without warning? Do both. if you post about going live, or you even post a video just before you go live, and the TikTok is, hey guys, just about to go live and answer your questions. We're only on there for half an hour. Join the live. Boom. Quick, simple. You'll get more people to join the live stream. 100%. Like, you should do both. But don't let that stop you and go, oh, if I do a live stream, what I have to do is I have to schedule the event, and I got to plan for it. I got to do this. Do not overcomplicate it. The more hurdles you put in front of yourself, the less likely you're going to do it. Because you already feel like, oh, I got to get it. I got to do a live stream. Boy, that's so scary. It's not that scary, but you feel like you don't want to do it because you've never done it before. So just go, I'm jumping in the pool, that's all you got to do. Just got to jump in the cold water, and you realize that it's not so bad.
Yeah.
It's really not.
100%. 100%. I find myself that I find it easier to go live.
Just straight away. Yeah.
Just straight away, yeah.
Also, if you can, cover up the thing that shows how many people are viewing, because that will throw you off. It's been throwing me off for this whole interview, because if I look at the camera right below it, I can see, oh no, one person left. Oh, one person came back. It's
right.
Yeah. I would personally try to put a little bit of a post-it note on your screen so you can't see that part. Yeah, because you want to be, engaged with your audience. Whether there's one person there or 100 people there, you don't want to be focused on that.
Yeah, totally. Love that. Bonnie had a question. Post the same video on all of them, or change them up, or time is different. Time is different.
I think the question is regarding to the content posting on all of them. Yeah, if you like, at my level and with the creators, who have millions of followers, they'll spend hours on a 15-second video to get it as entertaining and as condensed as possible. So if they do all that editing, they're not going to then do it different for this one and this one and this one. I know Gary Vee says make the content native to each platform, but Gary has a content team that can do that. And for example, the only difference I would say, I have a friend, Kieran Litchfield. He is the fastest growing creator for this year on TikTok, and he has a tagline which is he's like a first aid survival coach, and his quote is, "Follow me on TikTok if you want to live." And he'll film it differently for Instagram. He'll say, "Follow me on Instagram if you want to live." But the rest of the video is exactly the same, and he's just put a different outro, which is a different call to action. Otherwise, if your video is entertaining, and it would be entertaining on TikTok, it would be entertaining on Facebook Reels as well. It would be entertaining on Instagram Reels as well. So post the same video. Yeah. So long as it fits the format, don't post a landscape video on Reels. It's going to do shit no matter what, no matter how good the video is. It's just because people want to see it the way they're supposed to see it.
Yeah. As long as the sizing is good, you should be fine.
Yeah, but that's a great question.
Live can huge my business. That's awesome.
Boom.
Mystery person.
Not surprised.
Oh, thanks, Bonnie.
And I am too.
We have
a good question from Amy. I'm way more comfortable doing lives now. Oh, it's a statement. The first live I did, the camera was not even facing me. It took me 10 minutes to press that button. Well, see, that's good. That's a good start if that's what you got to do.
Yeah,
do it.
Totally.
This deserves more likes. Thank you, huh?
Love the questions. Awesome. And we should sign off with a little magic trick then, since everybody's so patiently waiting for it. And then,
are you able to bring anybody else up with on video?
You know what?
Just us?
No, I can bring someone up. Who wants to volunteer?
Let's get Bonnie Chan.
Okay, let me just see. Let me just make sure I can do that. I think I can. Hang on.
Is Bonnie the one who asked for the magic trick?
No, Amy did.
Oh, sorry, Bonnie. Let's get both of them, Amy and Bonnie, if we can.
Which one?
Amy Balowitz Miller. If we can get Bonnie up too, that would be cool.
Okay, let's see if we'll bring both again, or just one.
Whatever works.
Okay. Bonnie and Amy, I've just sent you both a link. Let's just test it out. I've never bought more than one person, so hopefully this won't break. Have a look at your messenger, Amy and Bonnie. Oh, there you go. Here's Amy.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Very good. I love magic, so I'm very excited.
Oh, awesome.
Do I need anything?
No, you just need me. So we're going to do a trick. It uses an invisible deck of cards.
I'm having an echo. Hold on. What do I do?
Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I had an echo, but now I'm good.
All right. So I have an invisible deck of cards, Amy. It's really an invisible deck. Can you reach forward to your screen and take the invisible deck? Good stuff. Give the cards a shuffle. Love it. And what I want you to do, Amy, is I want you to flip one card over. Okay, great.
I got it.
And put them in the box. Good. And hand me the pack. Wow, magic.
That's awesome.
Now, Amy, in this deck, I've flipped one card over. It's my prediction. For the very first time, can you let everybody know what card did you think of?
The 7 of diamonds.
10 of diamonds. Good choice.
7.
Oh, 7. I'm so sorry. I misheard you there. Boy, you don't want to think of the 10 of diamonds. It'll make things easier. I'm only kidding. Look at this. You're going to see that every single card in this deck is facing you, right? But there's one card that is not. I flipped this over before this show began, and that's actually the 7 of diamonds. Thank you very much.
Let's see it.
Oh, you want to see it? You don't trust me? Okay, here it is. The 7 of diamonds.
What? No. I'm speechless. Thank you for doing a trick for me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being part of it. I'll pay you later. Good job.
All right. Oh, just the shout out is good. Thanks so much,
Thanks,
Jackson.
Amy. You're welcome.
Do I leave the call up here? I'm going to.
Yeah.
All good. Sorry, Amy. Yes.
Bye, Amy.
Awesome. And Bonnie just joined. Bonnie, unfortunately,
Bonnie, I'll be sure to use you as a volunteer in the show in a couple of days'
we'll
time.
make sure. Yeah, totally. So the show is going to be at let me just make sure.
Is it same time or it's an hour earlier than this call was?
I think it's an hour earlier. Let me just make sure.
I thought it was actually 9. And that's
no, it's an hour earlier. It's an hour earlier on Wednesday.
Oh, lucky I asked because when I did the time zone conversion, it said different. So it's 8 a.m., is it?
Your 8 a.m., yeah.
An hour earlier than now or than what we started this call?
No, an hour earlier than when we started.
So 8 a.m. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be doing it from Melbourne, as you know, because I've got a gig down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Got some nice little. You made Amy disappear.
Oh,
that's right. I did. Awesome. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I love the Zoom that you do the magic show. I mean, I wish people could see you in person because I know what that's like. That's like a whole different experience. But the Zoom is amazing as well. So yeah, definitely. And the other thing also, when everybody comes, just realize it's not just for you, it's for your family. So feel free to bring your family, whatever, like no problem.
It is family friendly. It's not a kiddie magic show. There's, but it's awesome magic. It's some of my absolute favorites, and you'll be surprised, like what you just saw. You'll be surprised what you can do with a Zoom magic show. We're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, awesome. And A4 paper.
Yeah, bring an A4 piece of paper and a marker, like a pen or a Sharpie, and optional, bring a pair of scissors.
Love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for coming and sharing your
You're
wisdom
welcome.
with us. Yeah.
Least I can do.
Yeah, really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be in touch for sure. And then I'll just do a little outro for the rest of the day, and let everybody know what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
I'll see you in a few days.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay, Bonnie, great question. So I'm going to send the Zoom link in the next day or two. I need to actually prepare it. I was actually, because I had a lot of registrations. I'm not saying how many yet because I can't say yet. In the networking event, I will announce how many registrations we had in total and who won the $250. And yeah, so I need what I can tell you is I needed to contact Zoom about having the, like, how many people are going to show up for the Zoom, because I have a certain limit on Zoom and I need to increase it. So that's what's happening on that. So there you go. So there's a couple of things I just want to cover. I want to cover the agenda for tomorrow, and then I will do the drawing for the $100 winner for the giveaway as well. So first thing, just agenda for tomorrow, so you're aware what's happening. So tomorrow there's going to be a slight change. The hours are exactly the same. So 10 a.m. US Eastern, we're going to have Elena Connolly, and she's going to do a market research, how to write words that sell training. And she'll be reviewing people's landing pages and so on. So that's the first thing. Then at 3 a.m., and then we'll do co-working after that. So if you want to join the co-working again, that's what we're going to do. So 10 a.m. we'll start with the session with the copywriting and reviews. And probably between 12 noon and 2:30 or 2 p.m., we'll do co-working for 2 hours. So you should expect that. And then 3 p.m., we're going to have the ClipScribe CEO, Craig Lillard, who's going to do a session about video marketing. And then at 4 p.m., we were going to do a media and PR. Instead, we're going to have Beth again doing more copy reviews, okay? So I know that we had a few people submitting their lead magnet and we didn't get to it. What I'd love for you to do is, if you still have a lead magnet you want us to review, send me an email, contact@aranbukai.com, and Beth is going to do another session tomorrow to do copy review, okay? So I know that was really popular. People really enjoyed that, and so on. Yes, you can submit the landing page to review. Send it to me to contact@aranbukai.com. and Elena will review it tomorrow. So send that, and we'll do that. We'll definitely review it. Beth is going to focus on the lead magnets for now. Elena will probably do landing pages. So yes, submit your landing page, email to me. And then, yeah, because I think everybody really enjoyed that. Beth was really good. It was really detailed. And yeah, I just want to make sure that we really give you a lot of value. So I asked you to come and do another session. So, and then the media and PR session, we'll do it another time, basically. And then we'll do co-working as well after Beth as well. And yeah, we'll see. I think for tonight, I'd love to know if anybody really wants to do co-working tonight. If you do, I'm happy to hop on a Zoom call in 15 minutes. If you want to do more co-working, let me know. But yeah, just let me know, because I know we've done a lot. It's been a long day. So you just let me know if you want to. So just leave a post so I know. Leave a comment. While you do that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're gonna do the giveaway again. So I'm gonna do the you call this the wheel thing. I'll show it to you. So bear with me for a second as I share my screen. Tomorrow I'm be tonight. Would love to, but heading out. Yeah, I figured it's been a long day. People are probably getting tired, so let's just do it tomorrow. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody joining. I'm just gonna go ahead and share this little screen and see who's gonna be the winner. Han. Mr. Han, I would want your congratulations. You've won $100. So Han, I hope you're still there because you just won $100. Give me your PayPal, and I'll PayPal you after this. So I'm just trying to get rid of the background. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, we'll wrap up for the day. Thanks everybody for joining. I really appreciate you all. Yes, Han, awesome. We're all very happy for Han. Han, it's your lucky day. Awesome. Yeah. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining. I really appreciate you. And let's reconvene tomorrow, 10 a.m. US Eastern. And